A white woman becomes Japanese, immediately ruin her life. I'm kind of like wondering what's going on. I want to see what's happening.
When Shino Karolina accepted her crown as Miss Japan, she didn't realize she had made a huge mistake.
Oh?
It was her dream, but as the spotlight turned on her and her most embarrassing secrets were exposed to the entire world, she had to accept the truth. She was set up by an incompetent company, and now her life was ruined.
Wait,
this
what?
is the real story of the most hated woman in Japan. This might not be what comes to mind when you think of a Japanese person, but trust me, Shino Karolina is as Japanese as they come. I'm talking rice and miso soup for breakfast levels of Japanese. She's been in Japan since she was 5, so she's lived her entire life there, from elementary school to university. Japanese is the only language she knows, and if you don't believe she's fluent, listen to her gush over who's the...
I think that people focus way too much on visuals of how like people look, and then they don't really think about it. Like, I think that if you're born in a country, or if you live there your entire life, you're kind of like from that country in the end of the day. People are too judgmental on their visuals.
Hottest One Piece character.
Yeah, what up, boys?
But as you could imagine, Karolina never really felt like she fit in Japan. In elementary school, she was bullied for her big nose and
Big
blonde
nose?
hair. Her whole life, not fitting in always bothered her. Japan was her home. She wanted to be accepted as Japanese. So what if she became Miss Japan?
私自身が日本人として通用するのか評価していただけるのか試したかった。
But first, she had to meet the requirements to enter the contest. So what are they?
No
anyways?
bully, please. I'm gonna be. I like big nose doesn't mean it's not really that bad. I think big nose can really be visual fitting for a lot of people.
Be Miss Japan, you need to be between 17 and 26 years old. Karolina's 26. Check. Unmarried. Check. And
Unmarried.
have Japanese nationality, which Karolina...
I love that she has to be unmarried to even apply. Isn't that wild?
Didn't have because she was born in Ukraine. So she quickly filed the paperwork and became Japanese
Unmarried.
just before the contest deadline. But there's something weird going on here. What is this? Isn't the contest supposed to be called Miss Universe Japan? Yeah, this is not the contest you guys think it is. Basically, in 1950, the Japanese government wanted to thank America for relief after the war, so they hosted a Miss Japan contest to choose an ambassador. They only did this twice. Then, 16 years later, this guy, Wada, has an idea. He wants to market his company, Wada Labs, so he revives the pageant and uses it to promote his new diet, Wada Figuring, where you only eat 9 foods and take a 45-minute bath once a week. He has no competition, so it works, and he becomes the guy for dieting in Japan. Even Emperor Hirohito's wife, the Empress of Japan, went to him for advice losing weight. But Wada is a bit of a weirdo. In the 80s, he invents this device called a showerer, which you stick up your ass to clean your colon. And that's it. That
sounds great.
All the Wada companies
Where do we buy
done.
one?
I mean, look at their website. It has 3 sections. The Wada Figuring Diet, the Showerer, and the Miss Japan Contest.
So this is all an entire...
It has nothing to do with Miss...
This is just purely an advertisement scheme.
Universe Japan. Even the BBC got this wrong. It's a big difference. The WADA pageant is nowhere near as prestigious. I mean, they do like trash cleanups. When's the last time you saw Miss Universe doing a trash cleanup? The winner of Miss Universe Japan qualifies for the international pageant, where they compete against the Miss from each country to become Miss Universe. But the winner of the WADA contest, well, that's it. There are no playoffs. The winner doesn't have to compete anymore, so the judges can kind of select whoever they want. Speaking of judges, this is where the corruption starts. There are 25 of them. The first 7 are 2 members of the WADA family and their employees. Then the next 7 have 5 public figures, one of which is this guy who refuses to get out of his chair.
Dude, he
honestly, big alpha move, I respect it. And then they have 2 past winners of the pageant judging. 7 from Team WADA and 7 from the public. Feels a bit WADA heavy, but whatever. So who are the other 11 judges? Well, they're all representatives or CEOs of these random companies. Or at least I thought they were random companies until I checked the sponsors list of the pageant. Then everything became crystal clear. Yeah, the WADA family makes their money by selling judge spots at the pageant.
Smart. Make up a random fucking contest that has no universal meaning or that will take you anywhere at all. and just sell all the seats to sponsors.
Of the 25 judges,
That is so
18 of them
smart.
have a conflict of interest.
I feel like he's scamming all of them. Like, I'm wondering, do they know that this is just like a random contest they made up and nobody gives a fuck about it?
These sponsors want as many people to check out the pageant as possible, and that goes double for the WADAs. So crowning
Wow.
the only white contestant as Miss Japan is a genius business move. It's basically guaranteed to create controversy and make headlines all over Japan. By the way, Miss Universe Japan does not sell judge seats to sponsors. They only have 7 judges who are all ex-winners or accomplished women from society. Maybe you don't buy it though. Miss USA, which is Miss Universe USA,
Now that is America. That is the most American outfit I've ever seen. What the fuck is this?
by the way, was won by an Asian
Hell
woman
yeah,
in
brother.
2022. So why does Karolina's win need to
Wow.
be a WADA conspiracy? Is it really your skin color that makes you Japanese? Take Steve Aoki, for example. He's Japanese, but he's never lived there and doesn't speak the language.
Konnichiwa, motherfuckers. We are in Fukuoka. I can't read Japanese.
It's not a bad thing, by
Okay.
the way. I'm Dutch ethnically, but I don't identify with that part of myself at all. But think about it statistically. When 7% of the US is Asian and Arbany Gabriel wins Miss USA, it's not the craziest thing in the world. But when Europeans make up this little of your population, so little that I can't even see a blue pixel here, we can say that Karolina's win was a bit of a statistical outlier. Out of the 2,500 women who entered the contest, is it really likely that Karolina won because she best represented Japanese values? Or is it more likely that the WADAs chose her in a short-sighted marketing decision? The worst thing is, it worked.
Listening to everything of this businessman managing this event and how he created it, I think he's a genius. It sounds to me that he just knows how to make money. And that is exactly what he's doing here right now. I think that he can end the product with getting a lot of free marketing by just doing this. We all own that outfit, the Miss America outfit. I wish I did.
Karolina Shino, who won this year's Miss Japan.
But soon, the WADAs realized they made a huge mistake. But first, a message from our sponsor. Media bias is everywhere in today's world, and you
Damn.
can even see it in Karolina, a Canadian company founded by a NASA engineer that's working to revolutionize news consumption. If you want to be more informed and sign up, links in this topic in the nation. Tabloid magazines started prying into her private life. They put their best PIs on the case and prepared for a long investigation into... Nah, just kidding. They immediately found that she was having an affair. Wait, an affair? Isn't Karolina single though? Well, yes, but Karolina was caught on a date with celebrity plastic surgeon Maeda Takuma. and
Celebrity
he's married.
plastic
You
surgeon.
might think, so what? That's his problem.
I think that is so insane that I don't know exactly when this happened, but it says 2005. That I think it's insane that Japan and like East Asia still are so focused on if somebody's occupied. It's the idol culture. It's just so toxic in so many ways that whenever anybody that is on the stage has any form of relationship, people just go nuts about it. Like, I think that there's a saying in China, whenever you're over 30 and you're unmarried, there's it's looked upon as bad. It's kind of nuts to see like how other places in East Asia focuses on that. If you're in a relationship or married before like 25, you can't like be in the spotlight of being a beautiful woman.
But in Japan,
You become a
it's
Christmas
not.
cake? Oh,
Over
God.
there, if you sleep with a married person, you're at fault.
Yeah, it's your fault. You slept with a married. Yep. Oh, dude, I remember this.
And I don't just mean by the media. If you cause a divorce by doing that and you knew that they were married, you could be sued for up to $20,000.
Holy.
Luckily, Karolina had a good defense.
I wonder if that's a
Dr. Chad
business.
pursued her first and lied that he was already divorced. Or at least that's what the statement that her and the WADAs put out said. So, turns out she didn't do anything wrong. And from there on, she lived happily ever after. Yeah, nobody believed that. And within a few days, Karolina was forced to make another statement where she told the truth this time. Yeah, she lied. She knew he was married and she kept seeing him anyways. And the affair had been going on for like 3 years. You can imagine the shitstorm this caused. First, Karolina was immediately dropped from her agency, and then Miss
Ooh.
Japan stripped her of her crown. For the first
Ooh.
time, the Miss Japan title was vacant. There was no Miss Japan 2024. Karolina, whose goal in the contest was to finally be recognized as Japanese, not only failed at that, the entire country now hated her. And Japan isn't exactly the easiest country for a tall white woman to lay low. Her punishment was pretty harsh, especially considering she isn't even the one who cheated, but it's par for the course in Japan, to the point where people who think their partner might be cheating are financially.
Is there any way she could sue them though? Like, I feel like they are literally put her on the spot and ruin her like complete reputation. No? That is crazy.
To hire a private investigator to gather evidence so they can sue.
Oh, there you
I
have
know this
it.
because some of my friends have done it and gotten paid out.
Ooh.
Another reason people hire investigators is because in Japan, you need your partner's permission to get a divorce. Otherwise, you have to go to court. PIs give you evidence of adultery, which can help you get divorced. You want to know the craziest part? Famous white women in Japan get canceled for this all the time. You don't believe me? Meet Becky. Half British and half Japanese, Becky used to be on every TV program in the country. I'm serious. You couldn't turn on the TV without seeing her. But in 2016, Becky disappeared. What happened? Well,
You
it
got
was
married.
the exact same as Karolina. Tabloid magazines got a hold of chat logs showing a secret relationship
There you
between
have it.
Becky and a massive
That is
Japanese
crazy.
rock star, Kawatani Enon, the lead singer of Gesu no Kiwami Otome, a really famous band. Becky and Enon were getting pretty serious, and even though he had a wife, Becky says she was in love with him. He even took her to meet his parents. Of course, Becky knew Enon was married, so when the chat logs leaked, she had to lie and say they were just friends. But just like Karolina, that didn't work, and the truth eventually came out. In the end, she had to hold another press conference where she admitted to everything and apologized to his family. But it was too late. Becky was done. Enon, on the other hand, got off scot-free. And then, not even 1 year later, the exact same thing happened with another celebrity named Maggie, half Canadian and half Japanese.
And you can see that this only pushes like women. It's only that women. If a woman is in a relationship, you're kind of fucked. But when it comes to dudes, it doesn't matter at all. It's wild. Hi, sir. How you doing,
Maggie
buddy?
also had a secret relationship with a rock star. And yes, he was married.
Second-class citizen
Naturally,
Japan, I
when the
guess.
secret
It's
got out,
weird, and it's
Maggie
not really
faced
only
repercussions
Japan.
as well, although nowhere
It
near the
really depends. It's the idol culture. It depends on where are you, like what kind of position do you have in Japan and Korea. Like, this is still nuts to me that we are in 2024 and people still think this way.
level that Becky did. She now runs a YouTube channel called Maggie's Beauty and the Speed.
That's a
Oh, I
great
get it.
name.
It's like
Wow.
Beauty and
Just
the
slides
Beast.
through your tongue.
But clearly something's out of whack in Japan when the women who were single are getting punished more severely than the men who cheated on their wives. They're not completely innocent, especially since in all of the cases they knew the man was married, but this Japanese phenomenon of the men getting off scot-free while the women have their lives ruined is a bit strange. In Karolina's case, people hated her before they even found out about the affair. Right after she won, people were already saying things like, maybe it'd be okay if she was half Japanese, but someone with no Japanese blood as Miss Japan? Okay, so let's say they got their wishes, and there were new rules that say you had to be born in Japan and have Japanese blood to win. Also, a lot of people blame Western beauty standards for biasing the judges to select Karolina, stuff like big eyes, double eyelids, and lighter skin tones that are popular in Japan. So let's say we want to select someone with darker skin this time. Even if they picked a Miss Japan who followed all these rules, the Japanese public still wouldn't be okay with it. And you know how I know that? Well, it happened. It happened back in 2015 when this lady, Miyamoto Eriana, won Miss Universe Japan. And do you think the public was okay with it? No. They
Why
had the
not?
exact same reaction they did for Karolina. She's not Japanese enough. You know, despite the fact that she was born and raised in Japan and has a Japanese mom, this time they demanded someone with pure Japanese blood. Who do they think they are? Draco Malfoy?
Yikes.
My blood.
Something funny is they tried to dig up dirt on her too, and the best thing that they could find is that she was smoking
God, I
cigarettes
love
in
casual
high school.
racism, and it's like spread throughout the whole country.
So was smoking underage and
A
Carolina's
pure
cheating.
blood.
Foreigners have such bad character. It's like, bro, are you kidding? These are like your national pastimes. If anything, it makes them more Japanese. So anyways, I think everyone in the story sucks. The WADA company sucks the most for putting Karolina in a difficult position for their marketing. Dr. Chad sucks for cheating on his wife. The Japanese media sucks, specifically tabloids, for holding women like Karolina, Maggie, and Becky to such high standards, while celebrities like Yamapi can get caught going to hotels with underage women and get off scot-free. Actually,
And I'm gonna be real, Japanese media is fucking AIDS, dude. It is AIDS. Like, they don't have, they want to cover everything that is in Japan. And they cover everything. They talk about everything. They post like newsletters and shows all the time. They're sitting at the airport to just record people visiting the country. They are constantly looking for things to just make content out of. So I can understand whenever anything like this happens, they will farm it and farm it and farm it until a death end.
In that case, the underage girl ended up apologizing to Yamapi for negatively impacting his career. Some people speculate that the reason the standards are so different is because the main consumers of this media are women, specifically housewives. When a hot rock star cheats with a single woman, they feel jealous of the woman, but feel like they might have a chance with the man if he's willing to cheat.
What?
At least that's what my friends told me when I asked them why this happens.
What?
Honestly, Karolina sucks too. And she didn't cheat herself, but she was the affair partner of a married person. And she had to know that if she
That
won, her
explains it
secret
all,
was
yeah.
eventually going to get out. Oh yeah, remember this from the intro? A lot of people believe this, but it's a lie. Dr. Chad likes to enter muscle competitions.
Now this is a good competition. Wow, you gotta do more of this.
He actually won Best Body Japan in 2018.
Holy.
And he is a judge, but not for the WADA contest.
Oh,
For
is that the best body Japan?
a different contest called Best
That's
of Miss
weak,
Tokyo.
man. That is
Also,
weak.
When people heard Karolina's affair partner was
Looks
a
like
celebrity
low but
plastic
fat
surgeon,
percentile, though,
a lot
that's
of
for
people
sure.
thought that it was this guy, Takasu Mikiya, a plastic surgeon YouTuber, and he got a ton of hate online. Actually, he's the one who originally turned me on to the idea that the judges might
Turned
be
you on,
corrupt.
yeah?
So I started looking into the WADA contest, and he was 100% right.
結構その審査員って金で買えるんですよ。これ業界の人はみんな知ってると思うんだけれど、一般の人はね知らない人多いと思うんですよ。僕のところにもよく来るんですよ。審査員やりませんかってね。ただそれはもう協賛として広告出してお金出してで審査員をやる。だったら誰でもお金払えばやれるじゃんって。そんなのミスコンなのって僕は思っちゃうんですよね。
There's one unanswered question that I need your help with. Karolina has always maintained that the only language she speaks is Japanese. She was even asked
God, I
about
love
this on
that
TV.
country.
She said she
I'm not being real. Japan is like the best country, like one of the best countries in the world. Like they think so differently, and like being there is actually like a different, like a completely different world. You feel it straight away. Like if you visit anywhere in Europe, Africa, or anywhere else in Asia, it doesn't feel that different. But as soon as you go to Japan, man, like it just feels different.
does not speak Russian or Ukrainian.
じゃあもう本当に日本語だけ。
そうですね。
But then how do you explain this?
У мене мама українка, вдома
In public, nobody talks. They only whispers. That's a lie. No, that's not true.
по-українськи говориться в школі по-японськи. Я в голові думаю по-японськи.
Is she a native speaker or is her Ukrainian really bad? I
That
mean,
is
I
true.
have no clue.
I've lived there for 6 months. They talk. They don't give a shit. They talk all the time. They don't whisper.
Please, someone let me know
Where
in
you
the
live?
comments.
In Tokyo and Kyoto.
By the way, I've made a part 2 of this video that's actually pretty funny. It goes into more detail about Karolina's family, Dr. Chad, the history of the Wada family, and then it gives some updates on the Big Motor and Scammer Girl stories.
Oh,
It's
that was a wild one.
completely
Remember
free
that?
to watch, links in the description. Thank you for watching. Thanks
That
to my
was a
patrons,
good
including
fucking
Tier
video
3's
though.
Ethan Kemp.
I feel bad for her. It's insane how like it's insane how their like rule set are toward women still. And even to this day for so long that how they like the standards they want the Miss Japan to have and just generally have women to have in the media is insane. While it's never double standard for men at all. It's so weird. It's super fucking weird, man. And honestly, I feel bad for her. It's a shame she can't like in any sort of way sue them for slander just because of that one situation, just that one reason. Feels bad, man. That's so awful. Holy. What a good video though. I like the video a lot. It was really good. I love this channel. It's always the best channel for me to watch. I love it always. Yeah.